Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? I just wanted to give you guys a real quick update. I want to drop a nugget for everybody. Um, Usually, when I go through my scanners and my charts, I look for pretty much what's going on in the market and really good high probability setups. When I'm doing Forex, what I try to do is look for pretty much high probability setups because I want to look for those huge moves instead of taking so many small moves. Now, sometimes you might get whipsawed out of a position and have to take profit quick and then change your bias or just wait to get back in because obviously everything isn't going to happen perfectly like you want it to do. But at the end of the day, we're going for an overall goal in mind. And I'm going to show you guys what I found right here on GBP USD. And then I'll show you a trade from last night, which was the GBP AUD. All right. So what we have here, if you can see, I've drawn this out. It's been drawn out for about a week now, is a bullish descending wedge. Okay. And usually when you see a bullish descending wedge, what happens is you get a breakout to the upside, okay, and you might get a really, really big move over time. Now, we've been bullish ever since we've been at the bottom of this zone. And if I zoom out for you right quick, you can see from all the way back to 2013, these zones where we play. And these zones pretty much are, they show you where we're going to probably change direction or continue in a direction. And so at the top of this zone, you can see here's the bottom and here's the top of the zone. And they play as support and resistances. I probably got to move this up just a little bit more. And then we come down here, we play as a support and then a resistance. The bottom plays as a support and then plays as a resistance. Okay. So pretty much don't need to say anything much about that. You can look at the chart and kind of see it for yourself ever since 2013. So guess what? These charts will always, always be here. We'll always keep all of these zones on here until we die, because as long as Forex is a thing, as long as we got currency pairs, then this is what's going to be up on the charts. Now, if we zoom in, I'm on the daily chart right now. Don't need to be on the weekly. Okay, looks like we probably have another week left or so until, or maybe 2 weeks until we can get into this actual pattern. Okay, this pattern usually takes a while to form. As you can see, every candlestick is 1 day. So it's been taking a while to form this. So this is a move you definitely do not want to miss out on. Okay, it is bullish. As you can see, we came from the bottom of the zone. We came and used the top as a resistance, pull back, and then we had a breakout. The only thing that worries me about this one is that we have not pulled back, okay, to retest that zone before a breakout above. So that's the only thing that has me thinking, if this doesn't break out the way that I think it will, or if it does break out, it could come all the way back down, okay, to the top of the zone, and we play this as a support, which will be perfect because that will give us a lot more of our gains on this trade. So if we go to this trade, usually when you see this, I'm gonna use my Elliott waves. You'll see a breakout from the wedge on the inside. It'll break the top of the wedge. Now on the top of the wedge, in order to see this type of pattern, you should have lower highs on the resistance, and it should be going in a downtrend. And then if you look at the support, you should have lower lows, but the two should be converging together to make kind of a cone shape. You should also have low volume. Once you have low volume, lower highs and lower lows, now what you want to do is wait for the breakout. So if we get a breakout up to the first target, what we want to do, or what usually happens, is a pullback. And we'll get a pullback from whichever the last candle that tried to break out and got rejected. So wherever that closed, that's where we want to get in for our entry. Now it may go a little bit lower, but that's okay. That's why you have your stop down below the wedge. After you get in at this second point, what we should get if the volume increases, and also you want to make sure when it breaks out, the volume is high. If it's not, this thing could reverse and go all the way back down. If we have high volume, then a pullback, we find support. We want to ride this thing up. Our first target at 1.3207, which is one of the last highs, or it could be a little bit lower, 1.3148. So let's just go in between. And that's your first breakout point. You can take profit, or you can ride this thing out, or you can take partial profit depending on how many lots you're trading. But as you can see, if we're at this point, if you look left, you can also see that we're right at a resistance here and a resistance here, which gave big, huge moves and pullbacks. So it would be ideal to secure some of your gains here, because you never know if we can get all the way back down or not. So once you secure profits, okay, what you may get again is a pullback, and now this resistance may become a support, and hopefully a breakout up higher. And then you'll face that last level of resistance up here around the 1.3437. Once we clear that area, which I don't know how long that could be, then we can go ahead and ride it up to the next zone if that's what the plan is and that's what's happening. All you have to do is make sure you guys react. I'm showing you this just to give you a trade idea of what's going on and some of the patterns I see, but all you have to do is make sure you react. And that's why I'm trying to walk you through the different types of examples or different types of situations that can happen during this trade. Now, if we go and measure out from our buy point up to the first target, you're looking at 296 pips, and then to the next target is 466 pips. So that's why we want to wait on this trade and be patient and trade high probability setups. Is because imagine, if you in your account, you could pretty much you can double your account or more than double your account just by waiting a couple weeks instead of day trading in and out of these currency pairs so much, not paying attention to where the price is, what type of patterns you're trading, or if you're trading a pattern at all, if you're just jumping in, the volume and everything. All that is important. So you want to make sure you're trading these high probability setups and know how to actually trade them. Okay. And if I zoom out just a little bit, you can see from one zone to the next, you're going to get about a 16 to 1700 pip move. Okay. So that's a huge move. So imagine taking profit and then leaving on a few smaller lots, and it rides all the way up over the next couple months or so. Okay, that's your account just slowly growing as you're finding other setups and trading those as well. But remember, we definitely got to get past these resistance points, which is almost halfway. This point here, that's about the halfway point between zones, but you'll find a lot of resistance before you get to that point. So this could easily be a zone. And then you got a resistance once you break out of that zone here, which was a support here on that pretty much double top. Okay. Now, if we if we do have this play out in a different way, what I can picture it doing is coming back to retest the top of the zone as support. So if you see this fall first, then this may be a retest, or if it pushes out and then comes back down, it may be a retest of the top of the zone. If we can bounce off the top of that zone, okay, your stop loss will be underneath, and then we may be good to go for the upside. But like I said, that may even be best case scenario, because then you get a chance to make more gains on this trade. So now you're talking about 1600 pips overall, and then even from the bottom up to the first target, you're talking about 455 pips. Okay, so you can save your money up and just wait for these high probability setups. Now the GBP AUD was a trade I just wanted to cover right quick from last night, and I'll have to zoom in on the closer time frames, because you'll be able to see a lot of the things that I was able to see when I was trading this. So we got on a 15-minute chart, and I think I posted this, but you can see that there was a hidden descending triangle here, but there was also a triangle pattern that kind of caught you off guard. This looks like it was going to be a resistance from this right here, and instead there was a hidden triangle pattern here. So we had a breakout. Doesn't that look familiar? A pullback to where? The last point, the bottom of the last point where it tried to break out, and we're right underneath that. Pull back to the resistance, it became a support, and look at this breakout. And we were in on this trade right about here. So the blue lines show my entry basically. So 1.95936 I think was the entry, and then we rolled this thing up all the way up, and then we got stopped out. I think I had my stop right underneath this. Oh yeah, this was my stop right here. So we got stopped out last night while I was asleep pretty much. So this was our trailing stop that got hit, and now we're still retesting this level. So if we can break above and then pull back and use it as a support, that may be another trade in the continuation, because this is one pair that I want to continue to trade and keep on trading. So I'm not looking at so many different things and just confusing myself and just missing out on trades. So there you have it. You got to look for those patterns. A hidden descending triangle pattern. It pushes out or pulls out, and then it pulls back. You can see down here, it's kind of hard to see, but the volume definitely picked up. Here's about average volume, and that volume picked up over time, right about there on the breakout. And then we had a nice push up. And if you measure that out from our buy point to where we got stopped out on our trailing stop, you got 72, now about 76 pips. So you're talking about 76 pip move. And from the very top, it was a lot higher. And that was before I went to bed, but I was okay with it coming back. I don't care about being greedy. So about the highest it was 177 pips. But then it pulled all the way back. Okay. I didn't know if it would pull all the way back or not, but one thing that I wanted to see, and I wasn't able to be on my charts because of work, was this upward trend line channel here that got broken in the first place, which made me go ahead and start trailing it instead of hitting a target profit of up here at 1.97, because I figured if we stay on top of here, we go even higher. Well, what happened was we pulled up, used it as a support, we came up to the next level, got rejected, and then we had a retest of the top of that huge channel. And that is a weekly chart channel, I believe, or my daily chart channel, one or the other. And now we're trying to break through the highs here. All right, so that's pretty much what I saw, and I changed my bias because I was short and wanting to go below these lows, but there's a lot of support there. And then once I got stopped out, I went ahead and turned around and went back long bias because I thought that we would hit the bottom of this channel here and just continue on this trend in this channel, as you'll be able to see. There we go. So you can see this channel here, and we're just playing right up and down off the top and the bottom of the channel. So that's what I was thinking. And then I went ahead and watched and changed my bias and got long, and then we were able to capitalize on that. All right, guys, so that's it. That's all I have for you. So I'm gonna go back one more time. GBP USD is the one that we're looking for and waiting on, that descending wedge to come together and converge so we can go ahead and get a play in the next couple weeks. Besides that, if you have any questions, you can DM me on the Discord app or just message me if you got my number. All right, guys, have a good one.